not too far. Micro Center being 2 hours away. That's a 4-hour round trip. That's half of your day just completely wasted on traveling. Oof.
Yeah,
I do it every once in a while, but buying all your tech parts all the time. If you're only building a PC once every 5 to 7 years, then it's totally fine. And Kryptonite says, at the end, we got bought out. I would love to see you bring your chaotic neutral host. I think he did a great job adding humor to your segment. He's good in small doses. What do you think about Kyler now that you've been working with him today?
He's exciting.
He's exciting.
No king rules forever. Unfit to wear this crown.
That power will be your prison.
Oh yeah.
This is your champion.
I just want to. Listen, I don't work out. I don't have the ass for hard. You guys know Ella?
I'm the gym master. No straying, no.
I did. I was used to. Tomorrow, me and Tina are going to the gym, right, Tina?
So I wanted to be slim, thick. Where we can go.
Me and Tina are going to the gym, right, Tina?
So I wanted to be slim, thick. Where we can start.
You want to be slim, thick?
Yes.
This might be a good place to land.
Okay. I just don't know what I wanted to say. Slim, thick is not the way I thought you were going to describe that. Initially, we would do some squats. Initially, we're going to do some squats.
Why squat?
No. Squats are like. You want slim? It is, yeah. So if you want slim
I don't
thick,
want that.
you said you want slim thick.
I want glutes.
I'm trying to do slim thick.
I want ass only.
Well, you have to grow everything.
I don't want legs.
You. You. But squats are like the main thing as well for your ass. Why do you think? Why do you think everyone who wants to grow a big ass does squats? That's
Because
what.
they don't understand what
They
it's
s-
like to do hip thrusts
If
and
you.
bridges.
It's.
Everyone knows that if you want real fucking, like, a real fucking ass, you want hip thrusts.
Yeah. Okay.
No, not even hip thrusts. Bridges?
Yes, glute bridges and hip thrusts are good. Yes, glute bridges are definitely on there.
I want the numerical amount.
We're gonna do that, don't worry. Yeah, but okay, so a lot of these though, you're gonna have to also work your legs.
I don't want to do
But you.
that. I don't care about those.
Deploying head drone.
So, if you only purely just want to do do ass. Is that's all you want to do?
Yes.
We need to actually add legs into this as well. Otherwise, you're gonna have like 3 or 4 exercises.
No. I don't want those. I'm
So you
like,
don't-
I'm 5'2".
Shotgun bolt here.
Yeah?
If I add legs, I'm gonna look, I'm
The ring
gonna be
is
stuck.
moving for life.
But you're not gonna. It's not gonna
No one is
suddenly.
inside. Watch
You
out
don't
for the
want
new
them
kill leader,
chicken
friend.
legs. Oh god. Okay, you know. Okay, just meet me. Do some squats. Just meet me in the middle. Just like some squats. Just meet me halfway.
But I
in.
mainly feel it in my quads.
Well then, we can
New
do a
kill
different
leader,
version where it's
Azar
not just in your quads.
Why is the text so small?
I don't know. It's not big.
Care package being delivered. Looks like a care
You
package
got
is
to
coming
dig off
in.
some tiny
Big
legs. That's
things
what
in
I'm
that.
trying to tell her.
That's what I want.
That's. Isn't there like a surgery you can do just to get that?
But I don't want it to be surgery. I want it to be by organic
You want
meat.
organic, slim, thick. Okay. So we're gonna have to put like planks and
Phoenix,
stuff
get
in
here.
this as well.
Planks.
Yeah, like a little bit of core. Just like a little bit of core.
I'm okay with a little bit of core.
Just like again, just like a little morsel of core. You know, just like a little sprinkling of it. Right? Okay, 2 core exercises. 2. 2?
That's like
Or
two
just-
more than I thought.
Okay, how about just 1? How about we just do planks then?
I'll do 2.
Okay, is there another core exercise you enjoy? Like, a lot of this, especially initially, is finding exercises you enjoy
Dude,
because.
core makes me want to throw up.
Okay, so maybe we just do planks initially.
I can do anything. I'm okay with core if anything is good with posture.
It is. It's very good.
So I'm
question.
okay with core.
Very, very good question. Okay, planks, and then we can do. I don't even know what I even call them. Oh, fuck! I forgot the name. Chat these.
I don't fuck.
You don't fuck with that? You don't fuck with that?
That's
Okay,
like
okay.
your obliques or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah, because you gotta do. Yeah.
No, I don't want those to get bigger. I'm built like a fridge, asshole.
I need to step
Why would I
out.
want those muscles to be bigger?
Those. This is your overall core strength. So like with squats, they'll help.
No, I don't want those side muscles to be bigger. I'm built.
You're not built like a fridge. What
Yes,
are you
I
talking
fucking
about?
am.
What
Extended
are you
heavy mag
talking
here.
about?
Level 2.
My
Care
ribs
package over
are
there.
built like so that I have the
Copy that.
strongest fucking lungs in the West.
Shield battery here.
Okay.
They will just
And
be.
my hips and my ribs are so close together because
Hostile
I'm
over there.
5'2". So I'm not gonna get like the shape that I fucking want. So I don't want to build that muscle there. Okay.
Okay.
That's why I want to build
Okay.
ass only.
Yeah, and we're gonna get there. You're gonna meet me halfway because it's physically impossible to.
Copy
Oh,
that.
actually, oh my god, whoever said that, that's
Heard that.
fucking huge.
I do planks in my room alone.
Oh, you do?
Listen
When I
up, I'm
get
calling
really
a
easy,
lifeline
my heart
package in.
is really fast.
Half the squads remain. Let's keep winning.
From doing that.
From my emotions,
Yes. Yes.
and it works.
First up in the news, we have Caseytron, Asmongold and XQC. Yesterday, over on Twitter Space, Caseytron calls out Asmongold's lifestyle disgusting. And in the past, Asmongold has long been criticised by fans and fellow content creators alike for the state of his home, featuring a roach infestation and plenty of mess. Caseytron tweeted out yesterday, Asmongold hates himself more than what any of us ever could. Just look at the lifestyle he chooses to live as a multimillionaire. There is nothing that could be said to that disgusting man that could ever make a change for his filthy, hateful, putrid ways. Just a real stinker. Asmongold then fired back with, "You're fat and you spend your life smoking weed and doing drugs. If anyone's a stinker, it's you." Then XQC comes in to defend Asmongold, saying, "Money is financial freedom. Freedom is having the ability to do what you want to do as much as possible. Why are you mad? He lives the way he wants to. You have a lot of money too, yet you're overweight and choose to
Are
smoke
you not
weed all
helping
the
me at
time.
all?
Respect people's choices, lady." Then Casey Tron fires back in the final tweet. Little
There's
bro,
one left.
basic reading comprehension. I'm not mad that he
He's
lives
getting
the way
picked
he
up
chooses
right here.
to. I'm saying he hates himself.
Right here, he's
He
picking him
chooses
up,
to
he's
live
picking him
that
up, he's
life.
picking him up,
He
he's
wants
picking
to
him
talk
up.
about
You're
politics,
too late,
worry
too
about
late.
federal abuse. After the back and forth with XQC,
Kill the guy in the red first. Oh my
so
god.
Aspen goes last off. His mom's
Well,
dead.
it's
Here's
over, we're
Casey
done.
Tron talking about it on stream.
I did like that tweet. Thankfully, XQC's lifestyle hasn't led directly to the death of one of his parents yet, so he has that going for him over Asmon at least. I'll admit, I did like that tweet, and I have a lack of respect for Asmongold after letting his mom with COPD live in those sort of conditions. I'm sorry. Like, you're a millionaire, you have all of the resources in the world. Why is your sick mother living like that? Like, I'll say it, I don't care. If that makes me a bad person, I'm still miles above of Asmongold. Miles above Asmongold. I'm sorry. Like, I have literally a fraction of the income and I take better care of my parents than that. And I don't have anywhere near close the resources that he...
After the beef died down between the streamers, XQC went live on Twitch and he reacted to the clip it just played, and X gets interrupted while discussing Asmongold and Casey Tron's drama.
Guys, Ron's here in 2 minutes, by the way.
Bro, this was never about him taking care of his mother. What the f? Bro, guys, I don't want to interject and be weird about Asmongold because it's his saying it, but I'm pretty sure I watched his video about it. I'm pretty sure she didn't want to. Like, she wanted to live the life that she wanted to live and didn't want to be at the hospital all day. I think.
Yo, we ready?
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
Yo, read the room, read the room,
Read the room.
read the room, read the room.
Oh, geez. All right, let me restart. I'm gonna rejoin. Hold on.
Sesame Street first learned about Superman.
Jesus, man.
Right up part of my eye.
There you go. Thank you.
My teachers. My boy, my son, he's going to need someone. That's right.
Let's go make some faces unrecognizable.
You get to win if your heart's in the right place.
Where we're going? We don't need seatbelts.
It was on Sesame Street that I first learned about Superman.
This is your champion. Jump pads, gravity lifts, geysers.
Rise to heaven, this. We tear it apart.
That's what all the crazies do.
Young Montara, an enemy landed near me.
Under fire. Grenade.
Here, oi. Enemy here. Enemy reviving here.
Whose drop was that? Jesus Christ.
Destiny asked Pokimane to call his son after seeing her in the Free Guy movie.
Ryan Reynolds, sorry, yeah. Well, you know, that guy. They all look the
For
same.
the first time in my life, because Pokemon was in that movie,
Yeah.
when he came walking into the theater, I remember talking to Nathan, because every time, even when he was like younger, now that he's getting older, he's actually into politics a little bit, so we can talk about it, which is cool. But like younger him, he's like, I'll be with him and his friends, and like, yeah, my dad does like politics, so it's just really boring, and he cusses a lot. So, and he'll always like mess me like, oh dad, like you said you know like gamers and stuff, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, like Dra and Hawk and these old dudes, and he's like, do you know I don't even remember the names. It'll be these guys. I don't even know the names. It's not even like Mr. Beast. It'll be these other like Minecrafty little bit.
And decides to hide a body and locks the door.
Hey. Scouting ahead from here. Can't find his body now. Boone.
Let's check out that
Extra Emily encounters a snake while geocaching.
Ew! Is that a real snake? I'm scared. Wait, do you see it? Is that a snake?
It's just a flag over here.
Wait, that's crazy. It looks like a snake.
Heads up.
It is!
You killed
Oh
me
my god,
there.
it's literally a snake.
First blood.
Wait, that's so crazy. It's looking at you.
Beginning ring countdown.
Is it live or is it fake?
Inside the next ring.
Oh my god, I've never seen a snake like this close before in the wild.
Extended tether mag here. Leather
That's so wild.
optics here. Close range.
Cool. Is it real or fake? Oh god.
During EXBC stream, a random lady decides to hand over a dog to an IRL streamer. Chat yoinks the meat.
Oh, hey, what? So, you. Hey, give me my turkey back. You ran away with
El
the
Luna
turkey.
Gaming Twitch says, what the fuck is our random doing?
Okay.
Streamer goes on a workout journey.
It's not even dominant hand. It's an extra difficulty level.
El Luna Gaming Twitch says,
Okay, now it's fine.
you actual.
Oh, okay, it's just fuck.
Scrappy DP says, you dropped me there with nothing in trouble from the start. Scrappy DP says, you're dead. Steven3 says, probably camping for points. Steven3 says, report him for griefing.
Oh, okay. Oh, damn. Oh,
And
El
now goes
Luna
to
Gaming
McDonald's
Twitch
in
says,
Japan.
what a loser, imagine
what are
playing
we
a
even
ranked
arguing
game.
here? Why are you letting
Scrappy
him divide
DP
us?
says, I'm not
Eating a
grieving.
McDonald's sandwich
I'm
that
alive.
isn't sold in North
El
America
Luna
when you're
Gaming
in
Twitch
Japan,
says,
not
and
okay.
just running like a.
Eating a hamburger,
Scrappy DP
which
says,
is sold in America,
imagine folding up
from a
and
fast
dying
food
that quick.
restaurant that America doesn't have.
Steven3
Culture.
says, not
You don't know what
landing
the
and
fuck you're
playing with
arguing
your
for the
team
sake
is
of
grieving.
arguing, and you entered into the wrong arena. If
Scrappy
you want to do
DP
that, you
says,
should go to the
then
schoolyard
watching
and
someone
try
else
to
play.
Get into some discourse with some people that are still in like the third and the fourth
Scrappy
grade,
DP
'cause I'm
says,
coming back with
I landed
nuclear
with
bombs.
you dropped me.
Nobody on this planet
El Luna
has
Gaming
argued
Twitch
more
says,
vehemently
you know you can
about
get
more
reported for
useless
that.
in human
It's a thing,
history
right?
than yours truly. And you want to step
Steven3
in here?
says,
If I went
he'll
to
literally
Japan,
dunk
okay,
on you any
Larper,
day
if
of the
you went
week.
to Japan, you would never go to
Scrappy
McDonald's?
DP says, okay,
cares?
report me.
Nobody cares,
Cool.
man.
If you guys enjoyed this
Scrappy
video,
DP
feel free
says,
to drop a like.
yet
and
you
if you
are
want to
dead.
keep up with the latest news and
Cool
clips,
dunk.
be sure to subscribe and turn notifications on. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Steven3 says, Yeah, you want 1v1 me though, cause he'll clap you. Steven 3 says, all day. Scrappy DP says, now I am for sure not getting you. Go take your penalty. Steven 3 says, you are literally free.
Net neutrality.
Scrappy
is
DP
back.
says,
Nintendo,
1v1? I am not 10 years old, dude.
Okay,
Steven
I got
3
to see
says,
something
can't
really,
wait
really
to see
cool.
you
I
get
got to
peed
visit
on.
some of the secret labs
Steven
inside
3
of the
says,
Walt Disney
for free
company
RP.
called the Disney
El Luna Gaming Twitch
Imagineering
says,
Labs.
it's
so, you know,
a
it seems like
sabo,
people talked about
it's
them a
under
little bit
game
before,
disruption.
But obviously Disney has all
Steven
these
3 says,
attractions and
yep.
theme parks and rides.
Steven 3 says,
somebody
facts.
has to design
Scrappy
and
DP
engineer
says,
all
okay,
that
do
stuff.
it.
And there is a surprising amount of tech that
Scrappy
goes into
DP
it. And
says,
some of it
what a
is
threat.
still experimental
Smiley
and
face.
unreleased, where no one outside of Disney, well, except for me now, has gotten to use them. This thing
Steven 3
is
says,
so cool. So
calling
Disney
me bad
Imagineering has
because
a bunch
I
of
was
these
in a
buildings scattered around
2v3
this
because my
California neighborhood
teammate.
that I got to visit, where they
Steven
make
3
realistic
says,
animatronic
didn't
robots
play with
as
me.
part of their attractions.
Steven
They
3
literally
says,
greeted me at
makes
the door
sense.
with these little droids,
Scrappy
the same
DP
ones that are
says,
roaming around the
I
theme
am no
parks.
living in fear
And
because of
these
your
things
comments.
have a striking amount of
El Luna
similarities
Gaming
to the
Twitch says,
Boston Dynamics
it's not a
Spot
threat, it's a
robot
thing just
that I
like
got to
your
play
dad
with a few
didn't
years
love
ago.
VU.
You know, that Spot robot
Steven
was
3
able to
says,
navigate any
your one
terrain
brain
with an
cell should be
adaptive
studied.
gait, and it followed
Scrappy
instructions from
DP
a
says,
custom but
they hurt so
surprisingly
much.
easy to learn controller so that it could navigate around and do jobs that humans won't.
El
And it's
Luna
also super
Gaming
fun to
Twitch
play with.
says,
These
his
little
dad
droids
pegged
for
him,
the
I
theme
can
parks
tell.
are a lot of the same
Steven
stuff.
3
They are
says,
able to adapt
that's
to any
not true,
terrain.
I see my
They
dad
walk around,
every
they
week.
follow instructions from a
Scrappy
customized
DP
Steam Deck
says,
as the controller,
your verbal
which
game
took
is
me
poor.
like 60 seconds
Did
to
you
learn.
grow up after
And they can navigate
2010?
around relentlessly
El
all
Luna
day,
Gaming Twitch
interacting with
says,
guests at a theme
Lifeline wanna
park
queue up.
and being fun to play
Steven
with. It
3
was super
says,
fun.
my
And
mom's
it's also
dead though if
seriously
you
crazy
want to
how
roast
much
her.
tech is even inside one of these things. It's blending all these animations together.
El
from
Luna
the
Gaming
walking
Twitch
to the
says,
standing,
my mom
and
went to
looking
jail
around.
for abuse.
It's pretty cool, but that's not even what I was there to try.
Steven
I
3
was there
says,
specifically to be the first person outside of Disney to walk on the Holotile. So, you might have seen some videos about this, the Holotile. It's this insane one-of-one 360-degree treadmill, like a moving floor, basically. It's still in an experimental phase, and this is the only one that exists, but it's already got these gears turning in my head about future potential applications.
El Luna
particularly
Gaming
VR.
Twitch says,
And actually,
it's just
one
sad in a
specific
sad
thing
world
that I
we
have
live in.
reservations about, but I'll get to that in a minute. Now, I
Steven
don't know
3
that anyone's
says,
actually
yeah,
fully
my mom
explained
died in my arms
exactly
from an
how
asthma
this thing
attack.
works yet, but you can
Steven
see that
3 says,
they're basically
couldn't save
walking
her.
across a huge number
God's
of
plan,
these
though.
tiny 1-inch discs that are spinning on top of their bases like a bunch of tiny treadmills.
El
and
Luna
then
Gaming Twitch
turning
says,
to
damn,
match
my
the
mom gnawed the
direction
living shit out of my dad that
so
dead.
obviously a normal treadmill is one direction, right? Just one flat plane moving forward and
Scrappy
spinning around,
DP
so you always know
says,
exactly where
God's
you're
plan
going.
was you
Let's say
to die
wanna
and
build
me
a
to revive
treadmill
you cause I'm
that's
bad.
responsive and can go
Steven
in
3
any
says,
direction.
damn, he probs
Well, a
deserved it.
flat treadmill, it would be
Steven
really
3
hard, right? You
says,
would have to spin
2.
around quickly to match
Steven
whatever
3
direction
says,
you're walking,
tut.
which is just kind of insane. So instead, built into the floor is a bunch of articulating cones with discs on top of them, with motors inside to spin those discs. Okay, and then the key here is the discs are tilted, so only the edge
Scrappy
of the disc
DP
in the
says,
air
dead
is the
again.
part that's actually touching what's on the floor. So it's less of a flat treadmill and more of a bunch of small blades that are rotating under your feet. So when you walk forward, they spin clockwise to move your foot back to the middle once it's landed. And actually, when you walk backwards, they spin counterclockwise to move your foot back to the middle. So no matter where you go, whatever direction you walk, no matter how long or how fast your stride is, it'll always pull you right back to the middle. So I've seen these videos that Disney's put out of this guy walking on it. But we gotta work our way up to that. You know, I've never walked on it before, and it's capable of some other things, so let's graduate, let's get there. So there are 3 ways to control this thing. There's walking on it, obviously, but there's also using a controller, like a PlayStation 5 controller, and there's also just straight up using the Force and just pointing at it with your hands. Let's start there. So first we put this Apple box on the Holotile. And there's a screen up here that shows in real time all of the inputs and what the sensors are seeing both on the floor and around the floor. And they've actually mapped anything that crosses a certain line in front of me to move whatever object is on the floor. So when I move my hand in front of that line, the program moves the floor around to match the movement of the object with the movement of my hand.
Care package coming in.
And this is pretty sick. I assume everyone watching this has seen Star Wars and realizes how dope it would be to have something like this in some sort of Star Wars experience in a theme park. So this is already super cool. But then the first time I actually get on the Holotile myself is in a chair and with a PlayStation controller. So I am going to be in a chair where the chair is on a piece of wood, so it's just flat bottom, and then they just handed me the PlayStation controller. And, well, see for yourself. So the left joystick is mapped to control position, and the right joystick controls rotation. So you can spin around and move around freely and actually get pretty quickly used to this thing. And if you're wondering, yes, I can steer myself completely off of the floor. It would let me. I was just kind of trying to be careful to not fling myself off the edge, but it moves so fast. So now after all that, now that I've experienced how it moves, now they're gonna let me walk on the Holotile. All right, so I'm gonna start with training mode, which is a fraction of the normal speed, but will still get me used to how this works. So, I'm ready. Training mode is on. So now, slowly start to walk. I can feel them kind of wiggling a little bit, but not really moving too quickly yet, so this is normal. Oh, okay, now they're starting to move, and my feet starting to move with the tiles. There we go.
Give my shields a recharge.
So as I slowly walk a little bit faster, a little bit more quickly, a little longer strides, getting more used to the feeling of the tiles. So they designed this to be about a 2-minute process as these tiny tiles slowly speed up their responsiveness to my movements, and it was slowly turned up more and more, basically until it was at 100% real time. It's moving pretty close to full speed now, feels like. And there's obviously a learning curve, but I feel like I'm good enough at it that I can kind of walk around and not think too hard. It's good. And then there's all the data behind me in real time, showing my feet, my legs. So walking on this, I noticed a couple things. First of all, as you've heard through this video, it's pretty loud. Like, this is going to be something they definitely are going to want to work on, especially if it's something that will be a part of a theme park someday, or maybe even in someone's home. But also, I find it fascinating, you're never actually quite walking in a perfectly straight line. Like, it can feel pretty close if your foot happens to line up along a row of discs that are all aligned in a way from the center. But other times you're just kind of gliding over the top of a bunch of these ridges, and you're not moving in a perfectly straight line. I imagine a future version of this looks like a whole bunch of much smaller and more numerous discs that are just as powerful as they are, which is clearly an engineering challenge, or an Imagineering challenge. So, yeah, this takes some getting used to. I know that because I got to hang out with the inventor of the Holotile, Lanny Smoot. He's been at Disney for more than 20 years. He's got more than 70 patents, including the way the BB-8 rolls around the park, the real-life lightsabers, just to name a few.
Where the fuck did that guy come from?
And, yeah, this guy's incredible on it. He was telling me you could have 2 people on it at once. There's a multiplayer racing game, like controlling the BB-8 around the course by jogging around. And it seemed to work pretty well, aside from being pretty small. Obviously, this would work better if they had more of these floor tiles. But then what I found the most crazy is using this floor with a VR headset on. So this is what you would expect it to be for VR, right? And there's been some other 360-degree treadmill type of videos I've seen, other types of things used for VR, and they work. But the one thing that's hard about
Scrappy
these,
DP says,
it's hard to explain through
died
video,
in the
but
next fight
the
you got
difference
in,
between what your
got me
eyes
into that
see
fight too.
and what your
El Luna
body
Gaming
and brain
Twitch says,
feel.
Riot URS.
That disagreement. So meaning, like, this has always been true. If you look down at your phone a lot in a moving car, right? your eyes are seeing something still. They see your body sitting still, but then your brain and your inner ear feels you moving around, moving forward. And so the disagreement between what your eyes see and what your brain feel, that's what can give you motion sickness. That's what feels bad. And so if you think about it, it's the same thing with this moving treadmill in VR. You put the headset on and you start walking, and your eyes see that you are walking down a moving hallway. You're moving forward, but your brain, because you're walking in place, doesn't feel that it's supposed to be moving forward. So again, there's a disagreement there. So with the HoloTile, I got to try putting on an Apple Vision Pro and actually walking around a 3D constructed environment. You can't see it, but I'm in like a holodeck in Star Trek or something. And I've got a harness on because it turns out this is really hard. My eyes see the movement and my legs are trying to walk forward and my feet are sliding around, but my brain thinks I'm not supposed to be moving forward. So it's confusing. It's hard to just trust it and walk. Plus there's the extra layer of sometimes it moves you backwards a little bit to the center. So I was taking all these baby steps. Meanwhile, though, watch Lanny do it, and he's just incredible at it. Like, he had the headset on, he was walking around confidently through space, exploring a virtual world. Pretty sure it's like a virtual Disney theme park type of thing, but that's the type of thing that feels the most like the future. Just free-form, exploring some huge space, walking around in the comfort of your own home, maybe, and that would be amazing. And if this thing can continue to be developed, maybe, just maybe, can get us closer to that reality.
El Luna Gaming Twitch says,
that is definitely
Lova,
dope
this
tech.
riot
I'm glad I got
won't
to see
fight,
the
just a
first
heads
version
up,
of
she
this,
runs
and
from
I'm
fight.
very curious and excited to see future versions. Disney, please invite me back. I want to see what the future of this actually looks like. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching.
El Luna Gaming Twitch says,
Peace.
just a heads up. Scrappy DP says, this guy talks the rawest SHHH ever. Scrappy DP says, verbal game week. El Luna Gaming Twitch says, she did 106 when I did 1K.
Thus, making their content easier, making their streams easier, and of course when it comes to world records or bragging about accomplishments, yeah, some of them have probably lied about that. This is going to continue.
Scrappy DP says, you folded up and died off drop LOL. Scrappy DP says, stop lying.
As two-boxing, where you use an alt account to give yourself easier lobbies. Over in Rebirth, it seems like a lot of streamers are using this and now admitting publicly to doing so, which is really split the community again, with some people who don't care as long as you disclose and make it obvious that you are doing this, and then the other side of people saying, like, why are you doing this at all? Like, it's illegitimate and it's cheesy. So what do you guys think? Let's talk about it. As Shep was one of the original posters of this, saying Nadia is doing it right now too. They're playing duo squads in Resurgence, but they have 2 new PlayStation accounts you can see when they queue that are then backing out after they get a game. The screen is not hidden on TikTok, but only Twitch. And even someone like Husker is calling this out, saying this crap is so lame in my opinion. Using a brand new console account to queue into burger lobbies, no wonder these Rebirth streamers drop 40s and 50s every other game. And Modern Warzone describing exactly what this method is, as some content creators have been getting called out for using a method called two-boxing to get into lobbies that are filled with low-skill players so that they can farm kills for content. For those who don't know what this is, it's when someone has an alt account that is extremely low level with a very bad KD. They use that account to be able to get into SBMM protected lobbies, aka bot lobbies. They have the low-level account with a terrible KD be the party leader, then they join their game. Then they search for a lobby. Once the lobby is about to begin, the low-level accounts leave, and the creator or creators are free to farm.
Who's running now? Jesus Christ.
Examples of streamers doing this, whether it be on TikTok or on Twitch, or some who just, you know, they hide it.
And then you shut the door on me. Oh my God.
A little bit disingenuous, but in case you guys want to know what this kind of thing looks like on a stream.
If you want to fight, we can. We can die. Keep going negative points. But yeah, that's a fun.
Are you talking to me? Are you the kid who was playing with me last game?
No, I'm not. You sound like you might stroke a lot. Might be mid-stroke or 38, mid-30s, and you might, you know, stay home, play a lot of video games.
No, actually, I have the day off. I'm actually 40. Yeah, I smoke a lot of weed. Oh my God. Let me
El Luna
apologize
Gaming
for
Twitch
that.
says, LMAOs. El Luna Gaming
Holy
Twitch says,
fuck.
L life.
How do I have an L life? I literally have the day off today. Everyone I know is at work. I'm playing a couple rounds of Apex. I'm sorry that I enjoy the same thing that you're enjoying doing, or maybe you're just not enjoying what you're doing. Fucking weirdo.
It can be a bit disingenuous if the streamer does not
Games weren't invented in your childhood,
tell
buddy.
people what they're doing. And I think
We've been doing it a lot longer than you.
both sides in this. I tend to lean towards it's a bit of a weird thing to do, especially if you're doing it for content and you're lying about it. That's not cool. Like if you're not making it obvious and being transparent about this, yeah, it's a bit odd. But if someone is being totally up in front and telling you about it, and you still want to watch them, I guess that's
L Luna Gaming Twitch says, dudes arguing with two mid-20s dude.
Dude's literally slapping his keyboard because he can't fucking use his voice in 2024. Yeah, okay.
And then you're not disclosing that it's against bots.
Grow up? What does that mean, grow up, dude? I have a fucking career. What are you talking about? I have a fucking grown up life. I'm just playing video games. The same way that the people who made this video game, who own the video game companies that you're playing with, those people are 40 and 50 and 60 years old. You fucking retard. Don't you understand? The people who develop these games and play these games and have been playing them are a lot older than you, you child. Why would we not like playing games?
What a 40-year-old Ross you. L Luna Gaming Twitch says, LMAOOO.
Oh my god,
Gaming Twitch
keep
says,
slapping
"Go
your
retire, old
keyboard,
man."
buddy.
Or at least a lot of Rebirth streamers admitting to getting into these bot lobbies, using these easier lobbies for content.
Mom and dad bought this kid his keyboard and now he thinks he's a tough guy. Really cool.
We'll see you back here sometime soon. Bye.
Kid who grew up in COVID thinks he lives in the real world.
L
Has
Luna
no
Gaming Twitch
fucking
says,
clue.
yeah, you'll slap it like I slap S face with.
Yeah, that's all fucking redacted, buddy. Don't you know how this game works? Dude is like, I want to report this guy for griefing. Meanwhile, he acts like this in game.
It is! Oh my god, it's literally a snake. Wait, that's so crazy.
I wonder if that's reportable.
Is it
Fucking
live or is it
ignorant
fake? Oh my god, I've never seen a snake like this close before in the wild.
You're in view of the enemy.
That's so wild. Cool. Is it real or fake? Oh god.
The year is 2024, and China is well on its way to becoming one of the most powerful nuclear powers on the planet. According to the Arms Control Association, the nation has 410 nuclear weapons in storage, with the Pentagon believing that Beijing isn't going to stop there. By 2035, it's anticipated that China will have 1,500 active warheads, about equal to Russia and the U.S. itself, and have the capability to strike anywhere on the planet with those missiles. On top of all this, China has established itself as a global leader in nuclear power. Its 23 nuclear power plants may only account for 5% of the nation's energy needs, with coal handling the vast majority of the rest. But China isn't going to stop at 23 plants. CNBC says almost 75% of nuclear reactors that are currently under construction are being built by nations that aren't a part of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD. Half of those new reactors are being built in China. All of this leaves us with a question. How did we get here? China has developed from an almost lame duck nation during World War II into one of the world's greatest military and nuclear powerhouses. To understand just how it did that, we first need to take a trip back to 1945 and the only direct
L Luna
display
Gaming
of
Twitch
nuclear power
says,
the world has
"Don't
ever
crap
seen.
him."
America dropping bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. World War II drew to a close. Japan's
Scrappy
Imperial Army
DP says,
represented as much of a
LOL.
threat to China as it did the United States. The second
Scrappy DP
Sino-Japanese
says,
war had been raging
reported,
since
smiley
1947,
face.
with some commentators even saying that the war's beginning was the actual start of World War II, and China was losing.
Scrappy DP says,
Imagine.
imagine.
Created in Nanking in 1940 with the aim of convincing China that Japan would be treated fairly. The regime failed. As the war dragged to its conclusion, the United States appeared as an unlikely ally to China. And from early 1994, the states were flying war materials into China via India, as well as providing training to the country's pilots and mechanics. American and Chinese planes attacked Japanese strongholds within China, while the American war effort elsewhere forced many
Scrappy
Japanese
DP
troops to
says,
withdraw so they
LOL.
could fight the Allies in the
L
Pacific.
Luna Gaming Twitch
China
says,
and its communist
Riot
armies
grow
were
up
slowly but
MR40s.
surely liberating areas that had been under Japanese control for several years. But the United States had bigger plans in mind. It had finally developed nuclear weapons, and it saw them as a way to quickly end its war with Japan. On August 6, 1945, the U.S. dropped a nuclear bomb on Hiroshima. On August 9th, the second bomb was dropped on Nagasaki. That September, Japan officially surrendered, and the war was won. This involved building a pair of reactors with a gross power of 728 megawatts, this time using a CANDU reactor designed by Atomic Energy of Canada Limited. These latter phases marked an interesting move toward cooperation on the nuclear front, as they represented the most significant business dealings between China and Canada up to that point. The plant was officially connected to the grid in 1991, and China could now produce power using nuclear technology. But while it made a slow start in this area, its weapons-based focus lay on treaties and development. In 1994, the country announced a series of tests to improve the safety features of its existing nuclear warheads. However, some believe these tests actually aided the development of the country's first intercontinental ballistic missile, or ICBM, and helped develop multiple warhead capabilities for its missiles. Those tests ran for 2 years before China signed the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, or CTBT, in 1996. That signing showcased a shift in Beijing's approach to nuclear non-proliferation. Previously, China argued that the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, or NPT, was imbalanced and discriminated against other countries trying to develop nuclear weapons. That attitude changed in the 1980s. And in 1990, the country's then premier, Zhao Ziyang, attended the 4th NPT conference. 2 years later, China acceded to the NPT, officially claiming its position as a nuclear weapon state, and in doing so, its commitment to being bound by the NPT. These were logical moves. Ever since its first successful test of nuclear weapons in 1964, China has operated under a no-first-use policy, in which it claimed that it would only use its weapons as a direct response to another country using theirs. By first signing the NPT in 1994, followed by the CTBT in 1996, China became an official part of the nuclear community. But it was not without its scandals. Despite its supposed commitment to non-proliferation, China sold ring magnets used in gas centrifuges that extract weapons-grade uranium from uranium gas to Pakistan in 1995. A year later, the country provided the design for a nuclear bomb to Pakistan, with those designs eventually passing through Pakistan and into Libya. They eventually were discovered by the International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA, in 2004 when Libya's president, Muammar Gaddafi, announced that the country would no longer pursue nuclear weapons development and manufacturing. Libya submitted to IAEA for inspection, which is when documents on how to build an implosion device that contained Chinese text were discovered. Nevertheless, China remained committed to non-proliferation. Its actions might have told another story, but it seemed to be engaged in clandestine nuclear weapons production. Instead, the country focused on developing more nuclear plants. As part of China's economic reforms triggered at the turn of the millennium, the country focused on expanding its electricity sector. Its 10th five-year plan, which covered 2001 to 2005, included a commitment to guarantee energy security. Wide-scale construction of new nuclear plants started, all in aid of China reaching a planned capacity of 58 gigawatts by 2020. However, these plans came to fruition thanks in part to the Fukushima nuclear plant disaster in Japan. The world's second worst nuclear accident triggered a slowdown in Chinese nuclear plant creation, likely so they could reevaluate safety measures. Still, China managed to reach a total installed capacity of just over 51 gigawatts and has plans to increase that to 200 by 2035, ideally accounting for 10% of the country's power needs. But where China's nuclear power plant expansion is inward-focused, ideally eliminating its reliance on coal, its approach to nuclear weapons over the last decade has been more worrying. China is strengthening, and its change in approach all comes down to the rise of one man, Xi Jinping. By 2015, China focused almost exclusively on domestic weapon design and manufacturing, both conventional and nuclear. Granted, it's still importing the occasional.
Dude, why don't you fucking communicate? Instead of fucking, oh my god.
The most impressive militaries on the planet. And with that military comes immense investment into nuclear warhead manufacture and the design and development of new ways to launch those warheads. Under Jinping's reign, China has built 6 Shang-class submarines, named the Type 94, that are capable of firing submarine-launched ballistic missiles, or SLBMs, that can travel thousands of miles. Its current SLBMs, the JL-2s, are currently being replaced by the longer-range JL-3 missiles, which the Nuclear Threat Initiative says are capable of traveling about 6,200 miles. China is also focusing on creating new ICBMs. Ever since July 1986, the country's Academy of Launch Vehicle Technology, or CALT, has been working on an ICBM called the Dongfang 41, or DF-41, capable of carrying a 5,500-pound payload. This lethal ICBM can carry up to 10 nuclear warheads and is both road and rail mobile. Its maximum range is believed to be somewhere between 7,450 and 9,320 miles, giving it almost triple the range of America's Minuteman III ICBMs. And it's been tested extensively. According to the CSIS Missile Defense Project, the first official test of the DF-41 took place in July 2012. A year later came a launch from Wuzhai, and 2014 and 2015 brought tests of launches including multiple nuclear warheads. It's a masterpiece of nuclear warhead delivery design, and it's well beyond anything that the United States currently has to offer. It's also emblematic of Xi Jinping's approach to China's nuclear policy as we draw deeper into the 2020s. Maintaining warheads for purposes of national defense is no longer enough. China can no longer simply be a nuclear power. It must become the nuclear power. That's why the country's stockpiles are growing at such a rapid rate. The 1,500 warheads the Pentagon claims China will have built by 2035 will put the country into parity with Russia and the United States, with its massive delivery systems being among the best the world has to offer. Add to that an increasing reliance on nuclear power, which encourages more research that could aid the country's weapons production, and China has evolved into a genuine nuclear threat. Whether that threat will ever be realized is anybody's guess, especially given China's supposed commitment to not using its nukes first. But one thing is for certain, China has come a long way in the nuclear race since it first started trading secrets with the Soviets in the 1950s to counteract America's nuclear blackmail. Are you impressed by the many steps China took and continues to take on its journey to becoming a genuine nuclear power? How do you think the United States, as well as other nuclear powers like Russia, should respond to China's growing arsenal? Tell us in the comments section below, then check out why China will never be a global superpower, or watch this video instead.
Shein's reputation is well established at this point. They've made a multi-billion-dollar business out of selling clothing that looks good in a fake photo and then maybe after a wash or two, but that is ultimately designed to end up in the landfill before the next big fad reaches critical mass. What you probably didn't know is that you can buy computer parts there.
Play my notifications.
I'm not saying you should. Shein's business practices are as controversial as their clothing is bad, and Shein's pricing on computer hardware makes Wish.com look good. I mean, look at this AMD 5600G CPU. $185 US? This gives Americans a taste of what it's like to be Canadian or Australian. I mean, guys, if I could have gotten away with saying we bought this and just grabbing one from the warehouse, I would have. But so much of the experience of buying from these marketplaces is the packaging and the delivery. So welcome to the all Shein setup. It's going to be dumb, but even more importantly, it's going to be filled with surprises. I have no idea what's in store for us all. I see a Soyo graphics card though. That's a name I haven't seen in a long time. You know who else I haven't seen in a long time? Our sponsor, Odoo. Their all-in-one business software can help you focus on running and improving your business instead of wasting time jumping between different apps. Click the link below or watch till the end of this video to learn more. Shein famously adds up to 10,000 new items to their website every day, and that doesn't include their recent push into becoming a third-party e-commerce marketplace by selling products they don't manufacture, like this Onda B550 Plus ITX motherboard. It has features like 2.5G network card, that's pretty cool, dual M.2 slots, all English packaging, and it can be equipped with Wi-Fi. Can be. It's like a motherboard loot box. I didn't get Wi-Fi, but what I did get is compatibility for my 6-core, 12-thread 5600G processor. So I guess I'll call that good enough.
It's $140.
$140 for this?
And if you buy from AliExpress, it would have been $86.
Yep, that sounds more like it. Sorry, I was just noticing how crooked some of these surface mount components are. Next up, we've got this beautiful DDR4 16 gig RAM from Don't you ever talk about Kyle's mom like that again. Oh, I have so many questions here. Who is Why is there a badminton player on the front of the box? That is the most anime girl RAM that I have ever seen. What is up with RAM? Every single time we do a marketplace build, we find a new RAM brand that I have never heard of before. Can you do me a favor? I don't want to be the only one who gets canceled. Can you read that out for me? All right, it's gonna be just me. Thanks, Andy. This kit is 3,200 megatransfers per second, which is just below the sweet spot for this generation of chip, but when we saw how these looked, we had to have them. How much did we pay for these?
We paid $51.
Ooh. Well, they look cool, but that is over 50% more than buying the exact same thing from AliExpress, and still more expensive than buying a better product from a more reputable brand on Amazon. So we'll have some of that stuff linked below. Starting to sense a bit of a pattern here. Next up, we've got our storage, and this comes from someone you might not have heard from for a while, Kodak. Okay, it's not from Kodak. The real Kodak went bankrupt, and now they mostly just lease their branding to cheap e-waste manufacturers. But this is definitely different. This 120 gig X300 has got advertised blazing speeds of 500 megabytes per second writes, 550 megabytes per second reads. Oh my, that's not blazing. Oh, wow, there's nothing on this PCB. Not only are there practically no NAND chips, I'm willing to bet money this does not have a DRAM cache. Look at this, it's just blank. Yeah, I don't even think I care about the pricing of this one. This is a strong do not recommend. DRAM-less drives can be okay these days, but that's mostly applicable to the latest drives that support host memory buffer in order to use your system memory in that role. This is not one of them. In fact, the packaging for this is an outright lie. It says that it is PCI Express, but in fact, you can see it is keyed for SATA operation, and as we saw from the maximum read and write speeds, it's SATA. It's not PCI Express at all. Oh my God, it's so flimsy that if I just go like this, it holds its shape. For our next item, we had to game the system a little. Just like Shein allegedly games the system on import taxes, am I right? When we were ordering, Shein didn't have any cases for sale, or power supplies for that matter. So we looked at their history and we found one that they had at some point that would work for us. Sounds fast. Meet the Vetru M03 MATX case. It's got a mesh front, a tempered glass side panel, and it fits up to 8 120mm fans and 2 240mm radiators. Oh, I mean, that's kind of impressive for its size.
I like the case.
For our power supply, unfortunately, we had no Shein history to draw from, so we grabbed this Sego TEP GM 750 watt fully modular power supply off of the to-be-tested, very low priority shelf over at the lab. You know, that doesn't look like the official 80 Plus gold badge. You can cross-reference it, right? Do you want to go on 80 Plus and see if the GM 750 watt is actually 80 Plus gold certified? Everything else on here looks pretty official. They've got California warning, everything causes cancer stickers and all that good stuff. While we wait for that, let's take a look at our cooler. Is this even gonna fit in here? It's, oh boy. Meet the Johnsbo CR1000 Evo. It is for your real needs, not your fake ones. Which is why it has so much RGB on it. I mean, realistically, it's probably fine. Johnsbo has a line of really good value cases that are honestly quite well manufactured, so I'm sure this is gonna be great. Just needs to fit. Oh yeah, that'll be fine. And look at that. That's a pretty flat, direct heat pipe contact base. I've got high hopes for this one. Higher hopes than I do for this thermal compound. I mean, the packaging leaves nothing to be desired. Lano thermal grease. You know what you're getting. Wait. These application instructions, though, I'm going to follow them. Get ready. Seal it after use and store in an airtight container to keep it from drying out. You're not gonna reuse this grease wipe, are you? It's not like it's big or anything, you know? That's it. I think it's one-time use. Is what I would say, but I promised to follow all the instructions for this one. David, check this out. This is great. This is how they tell you to apply it.
What?
You put it at the one end and then spread it over.
Why? Why not at the center and spread it both ways?
Because that's the Lano way. Any word on the power supply?
It is not on the Plus website, so this is probably not true. $5 for the two things of thermal paste.
I mean, that's a good deal at least, assuming that it's anywhere near decent. What did we pay for the cooler?
$30.
That seems...
It's $23 on AliExpress. I want to shoot this before we get to the part in the script. Based on this box, Linus, Intel, AMD, NVIDIA.
NVIDIA, obviously.
You'd think so.
Oh. Speaking of ripping off packaging styles, Corsair? No. Made in China. Do we even have a brand for these? PAP.
Those are about $6.50 each.
The packing picture is for reference only. That's good, because it doesn't look anything like this.
Is it just me, or are those fins really uneven on the packaging?
Oh my God, they are. They're not even close. Is this hand drawn? Look how wide this gap is here, and look how narrow this one is. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of other problems here. I mean, this would seem to indicate that this is supposed to be RGB, but I don't see a header.
Oh, you'll see some lights, though.
Are they one red, one green, and one blue one?
They were actually pretty nice looking. You'll have to wait and see on it.
All right.
They weren't too bad.
I guess I should actually build this computer at some point. Kinda a fine looking build so far, hey guys? Let's go ahead and throw this little fan filter on here. Throw our front back on. Oh yeah, now it's time for our GPU. This is, oh, I see why you wanted to ask me what vendor makes it. The Radeon RX 6600
M.
Oh my goodness, I have so many questions. The last time I saw the name Soyo on a product, they had recently exited the motherboard business, but we still had some dead stock in the warehouse at NCIX. So it was kind of a curiosity even back then. I had no idea these guys still existed. The most interesting thing about it is that this is a 6600M for mobile. With 256 fewer stream processors and a lower power limit, we should expect about 10% less performance for more money. Be cool, Sheehan. We're almost ready to fire this thing up now, but we have a bit of a problem. This does not close anymore. I'm so confused. I swear this closed before.
It definitely did.
It's not even close. Dude, I don't know. I popped it off like this, and then I put it back on, and he no fit. That aside though, this is a really clean looking build. Now all we need is some peripherals.
Here's your monitor.
I see. Another problem we faced is that Sheehan doesn't sell full-sized gaming monitors, but what they do have is quite the array.